Okay, attempt number... well, life 10. I forgot how many attempts now. This time I don't have the dash through. Just saving a little time on my replays. Okay, so we have a no deaths version of the boss dead. A couple of changes were made on the way. First one being my abilities. I don't have the strike through move. I found I wasn't really using it, so there wasn't a point to going back and re-challenging myself. And this is now my 10th life through this, so yeah. In regards to the vote for if I should continue with this no deaths run or not, the results are still pending. We'll have to get some people to voice in to have that vote completed. In the meantime, we're going to trudge on. So the reward is a new gun. It's a laser gun. And by that, I mean it has a laser sight. It kind of fires a laser. Yeah, I'd call that a laser. So, beat a boss, do this. Okay. So, still almost nothing explained. But, 4 corners, one is now up. We cleared the northern one's boss. So, stands to reason we have 3 more. We'll head back to town and take advantage of that. I'm ecstatic that I get to continue on with this past the boss on no deaths currently. Whether or not we're going to continue doing no deaths or not will, of course, be dependent on your votes, so... well, that's not what I intended to do. Okay. So, push too many buttons and now I have the charge attack. Okay. That's okay. Let's go this way next. The only way we really can't go to begin is down. That one we have to clear the other 3 first. But we can really go in any direction. I just think great. I think the boss on this side is a lot easier than, say, the boss of the west side. In fact, I think the east boss is the easiest of the 3 starting bosses. But the lead up to the boss is not as easy. I'd probably rank the bosses east, north, west in terms of... switch back to the pistol. East, north, west in terms of boss difficulty. In terms of region, the area itself, and its difficulty, probably north, east, then west. Feel like I didn't fully explore that. For another time. This is just for everyone to be able to see the game, essentially. And we don't need to risk ourselves doing stupid stuff for no reason. Like this. Why does this exist? Don't know, but can't see what's over there. That said, most of the off of the beaten path things, they do have a purpose. You just might not have access to them right away. Okay, boss number 2 has something happening with his face. And he's over there. Cool. New enemy. Making piles of bodies. So yeah, getting a little grimmer. Looks like sacrifices of whatever species that is. We'll call it human sacrifice because it gets the point across, even if they're not exactly human. Big arm, big sword. Cool. More of the Titan's deaths, or whatever we would want to call those gigantic creatures. Also need to remember to keep my pistol out. Generally, I don't use the laser in combat. It can pierce enemies and hit multiple enemies at once, but it uses more ammo and is slower. And that implies that you're going to take the time to get the shot lined up properly. Typically, I don't. This looks like a trap. Thankfully, it's not. Everybody just died here. Cool. Pure coincidence. Do a little housekeeping. And we do still have the speed dash. The dash chain maneuver. And our warp. Got to that one much, much sooner than the other. But it takes us right to the central hub where everything is. It's a bit to explore down here. A lot up here. And the boss. And since I've got this open, I suppose now is a good time to try and explain how this map works, because it's not intuitive at all. You've got two versions of, well, you've got the large one, the big zoom out, and then this one. Your icon will just be in a room. It won't tell you where in the room, so you actually need to study the actual shapes of the areas to know where exactly in this room you are. And the same of these little, the modules you need to get. It just tells you the room they're in, not exactly where. Now the other map, this thing, is all of the different ways that you can get into something. So the little square there, that is an elevator, which would take you down to this room, and that would be another elevator on the other side, and you'd come out there. So you read these, trying to figure out how to use the underground paths by switching back and forth. See, that little square there lines up with that one. So if you get somewhere, like you want to figure out how to get to the boss, you look to see, okay, there's an elevator there. So you probably get to this building that leads straight to the boss through the tunnel. And then you can either start from here, which it looks like you could go that way maybe. And down there, down the stairs. Or you could enter from here, that stairwell. Or since we're here, it says there should be a path this way. And again, the red is underground, and the pink are tunnels. So I'd go in through this door to this room, all of this underground, come up here, straight to the boss. So that's essentially how you read these maps. Except there's a wall blocking here, so we're not going to the boss. But that's how you would at least read it. Not very straightforward. Not very easy to read. It's the rest of the arm. Don't know. Oh, that was not great. Where the rest of that guy is, I don't know. Let's try north. We need to get a certain number of modules before we can go to the boss, so we'll find those first. It's a pretty grim story, buddy. Just escaped slavery from frogs? I don't know what those are. Frog people, looks like. Okay, so this leads down here. The only way we really have left to us at this point. That just happens sometimes. It's fine. I'm sure he doesn't need to see a doctor or anything. It's fine. Besides, I don't know if I trust anyone with medical expertise in this world, considering that the guy that you get your health bonuses from is pretty much just mixing drugs on the counter as you visit him. Speaking of, I only have 2. Okay, so I can't buy any upgrades yet. Okay, new enemy. Hidden as flowers, and they explode when you kill them. Take that. Lower some doors. Okay, so we can see there's a couple of different types of flowers. The one that's moving, I'm going... Oh. Nope. That one. Ah! Need to pay attention to my surroundings. Oh, that did some pretty big damage to him. Okay. And they get iframes. Fantastic. Alright. So, the bomb guys do... looks like 4 damage. I just don't want to get near you. I do, however, want to restore my HP. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Fire bad. Ow! Yes, fire bad. Watch your dodge distance. Sometimes you don't want to be right at the edge of something when you start a dodge. Usually, you do, so you can get the maximum range on your jump over a ledge. Ow. But sometimes you need to fall short. Take that. Why am I going after those guys? I don't know. There's nothing over there. Because they shot me? Okay, so step on them, they activate. Get hit with the flamethrower, they activate. That probably would have been a lot more dangerous had they not given me a ledge to walk around on them, like these guys. Well, let's try it. Oh, that didn't end well. Okay, well, we still got some health. I cheated a bit, I guess, and went diagonal. We'll count it. Count it. No, this isn't gonna end well. I'm actually really, really bad at this speed dodging thing. Mm-hmm. I may have just trapped myself. Why are you... Oh, shit. That's another death. Or I cheat. Okay. I don't know if that's going to count or not. That's a good question. Oh, okay. So I guess it didn't count it. You know what we're going to do? Back to Hubtown. Buy an upgrade. God, that was awful. I think that's not quite in the spirit of the game of a no death run, so we'd have to do another vote if we want to apply that. Using a warp does maximize your health, as you can see up there. We'll go for the upgrade that I actually wanted, that I don't have the money for now because it didn't save. Yeah. So let's go get some health packs, some of the easy ones. And from there, we'll have to, like I said, we'll take another vote. If we should continue on, or does that count as a legitimate death and I need to surrender the save and make static number 11. Because I don't imagine the game is going to count that death. But should we? Okay, maxed out our health potions, health charges. Yeah. So, until next time, I've kept a saved version of number 9 who managed to beat the boss after a death, and completed one other thing that I did change is when I got myself to the boss, rather than going both paths from that warp and you come up and over, there's the two paths. One leads you to the giant's fingers, his remains, and the other leads you up on top of here. That takes you through this pathway, which is where a lot of the deaths of trying to get back to the boss were coming from. So instead, I just used the three that I had already obtained, the three modules I had obtained to go challenge them directly. And found some on the way, so as you can see up in the top left there, we got to 5. So that's also changed, and I don't have as much money as I normally would, but if we're going for no deaths, I don't need to do it 100% at the same time. So we have a save for number 9, whether we're going to finish, we're going to continue with no deaths or not. And then I guess we'll have this save where that technically was a death, but game didn't count it because I closed out before the final hit of me falling off a cliff registered. So 2 votes. And in the meantime, we'll finish recording this one, and I'll continue on this save with no deaths until we know what we want to do. Thanks for watching.